As the stone and the eye gum are friends, they are perfectly friendly. Mine, we clean them so that there are no unnecessary specks, garbage, we don't need it. We put it on the orchestra, on dense polyethylene, on flexible glass, on plastic. Take our eye gum, mix in the same proportions. Don't try to create the entire volume at once. To close the whole volume, because it is very soft, very plastic, it will be difficult for you to work. So mix a little half at first. Well, it all depends on how much you have a big stone. Please think about the fact that Agan will serve you not a single one filling. So we work carefully, neatly, and cleanly. Mix until smooth. It has such a pleasantly delicate yellow color. Stretch it into such a sausage. That's it. Neatly, carefully lay it out to the end of our stone. I want it to be right here. You can see all the irregularities imprinted, so I'm right next to it like this. And control the height of the agam so that it is the same height throughout the distance of your pour. Here, oh, I even had enough of a canopy. Great, look, when we attached it like this to a stone of the shape that we need, now we need this. So great, now we need to glue it on the outside with our finger from below, pressing it on the stone so that the resin does not run away or go anywhere, so that it holds the cork well, and we'll give it 15 to 20 minutes for the eye gum to harden, and we'll take out a pebble. So guys, today we're going to have a lesson about the sea, about the fire, and about how the sea is not created the first time, just because we apply the pattern layer by layer. I have an agamushek here, you know that agam can serve multiple times. I took the stone. So I'm sure that the agam stuck very well, but to be precise, 100%, you need to either go through a gram of silicone paste again or warm up a hot gun and go over the edging with a hot gun while the resin is gaining viscosity. I mixed a medium viscosity epoxy resin named Art Pro from resin Pro. Use the promo code TERIUM if you're interested. Our resin is ready and we have our stones prepared. The first layer we're going to work on is the bottom. You can use any type of stone shells or whatever you prefer. Today we're starting with the first stage, which is creating the sea. Keep in mind, it's not likely you'll get the sea right in the mold on your first try. I bought my stones from a garden store. Let's see if our glue gun is warmed up. I'm starting to glue now. Press down firmly on your nozzle to ensure it bonds well. If you have any indentations or holes, you can use this as your base. I bought a canvas and covered it with polyethylene, which serves as a great base. This makes a great base. You could also use hard plastic, flexible glass, or any kind of plastic. Just make sure it's even, as the resin will showcase all the irregularities. I am now pouring a small amount of resin for the base and spreading it out. So yes, we will have 3 stages. You can create a face from the back or a face from the side that is looking at you. If from the other side, then you just need to make a substrate, pour in stones, whatever you want, crumbs, and the face will be. On the other hand, I can remove from the top to pour in my sea, but I want to make a deeper filling. Then remove from above, pour in the sea, so open the pebbles. I sprinkle my pebbles. I fill the stones tightly. I have more pebbles like this in general. Collect all the stones that you have. Now I will also pour resin on top and combine different factions. Big, small, it will look from very deeply interesting. I will sprinkle it all again, leave it to polymerize. So when the depth is completely solidified by all the resin, I mix the medium Art Pro resin from the Resin Pro company. It's already warm. In principle, you can apply it to your surface, but you can't create waves yet. I separate literally 5 to 6 grams per white resin, and I won't tint the rest because you can tint it a bit because I'm going to have a second wave, then give me a drop of the ocean or a sea wave or any sea pigment you like, but just a little bit so that it's not too dense of a color. Look how it's barely stained glass. There you have it. And now let's apply it to our surface. First off, don't pour it all out at once. Yes, pour out a bit. See how the resin behaves. The start of my wave will be somewhere around here because I want to create 2 waves, then distribute our resin carefully over the surface. We don't push, we don't scrape, we carefully maneuver it to the edges. There it is. And if you need a shoreline, create it right away as you lay out. Yes, that's it, I did it. We'll leave it be. Now guys, tinting white resin for the sea is a very important process that maybe 90% of a successful sea depends on. For 6 grams of resin, I add 4 drops of white pigment. The white pigment should be very opaque. What does opaque mean? It means that the color is not transparent. The color is so dense that you can't see the spatula behind it. So you should understand that your white pigment must meet these criteria. The criteria are, it must be white, opaque white. As for me, whoever watches me watch my seas, see that I do the seas in different ways, usually according to my mood, because sometimes I fall in love with the effect with silicone spray, sometimes without it, just pure waves. Well, here I want to do it with the addition of dioxide. I love the effect with silicone spray, sometimes without it, just pure waves. Here I want to do it with the addition of titanium dioxide because I don't want to blow too hard. I want to stretch it literally. My resin is not ready yet, so we wait. It should stretch straight. we leave it and wait. So guys, now look carefully at the thickness of my white. It's just like melted honey. You see, it's just a lint. If you have a construction hairdryer, you can do nothing. Immediately work with a construction hairdryer. If you have an ordinary hairdryer, then before we start blowing up all this beauty, turn on the hairdryer, let it warm up. So now, apply our white pigment with a thin strip. Apply it clearly so that the edge is clear. Then we can still draw it, but this way it will look more beautiful. And you can make not one wave, but several. I will make two. The next one. I'll duplicate it above. Turn on the hairdryer. Check the temperature so that it doesn't burn you at a 45-degree angle. I just increased the speed. If it's necessary, hold the mold at a 45 degrees angle and start blowing gently on our resin. See, it's already very thick. Look at how it produces bubbles. Just look at these waves. That's it. I don't want to do anything else. Now the resin will solidify, becoming denser and undergo polymerization. Only in about 15 minutes, I will remove the bubbles. The resin will produce a more delicate foam. It will spread out, but I don't want any open work in this version. Look at it again, guys. This method is very cool for multi-level pouring, for creating several waves. I'll make a lot of versions of these fires. I'll do it with pigments, with different transitions, and you will see what two waves look like. Here is an example with purple and pink. I have two waves here, and look at how delicate the foam turns out to be, like with silicone. The silicone is more stringy, but this is exactly what I wanted. In the mold, the sea is created softly, and this piece pours in the sun. In general, you understand it is created in several layers, several stages. What will happen if we create the sea at once? In the first layer, the wave will hit the borders of the board, returns back, and nothing will happen. Considering that there will be borders, there will be a mold, the resin will hit, return, and nothing will happen. Only on a separate basis. If there are questions, write. I will be happy to answer. I hope everything fell into place and unfolded. I will be happy to see your experiments. Great mood to you, like.